Yo, what's up guys, welcome to my humble YouTube channel where I bring you fanfiction that will brighten your days. Before we start, a subscribe is greatly appreciated, and don't forget to leave a like and ring the bell icon so you won't miss exciting new fanfiction stories. This is a sequel to Rimuru in Akame ga Kill, Rimuru in DXD by alexkuhar360. Chapter 10. God of Rimuru's Pav. When the time for this meeting to happen arrived, Veldora, Luminous, and I went to the underworld. Veldora insisted on wearing the same suit with trench coat he wore to the peace conference. Luminous wore the black gothic dress she wore when I met her. Even if she is pretending to be my maid, this is the kind of event where she is attending as a member of our group. Having her as a maid would just be stupid. I was wearing my normal battle outfit since I assume something will happen. It is fancy enough as it is. Since we have only been to the familiar forest in the underworld, we were lead my Sirzek's maid, who is also his wife, Graphia. She also seemed like an excellent maid, as she brought us to the underworld the night before the meeting and gave us a brief tour of the area the meeting will take place. Even if I would normally like to sleep like a human does, or at least try to mimic it, since tomorrow is an important event, I am staying up, think things over and stay vigilant in case anything is going on behind the scenes. One thing I noticed is that devils seem to be very gaudy. I like our simpler and more modern house much more. My bedroom doesn't have to be the size of a classroom. All the gold is also distracting. Having natural or monochromatic is also nicer in my opinion. While I was thinking, I couldn't help but be curious about tomorrow. Odin, the lead god from Asgard, will be here. This will be my first time meeting someone with the title of god. I could Ophis and Great Red somewhat different than other gods in this world. I think they are more like extremely strong dragons. The gods more as strong individuals that are worshipped for certain things. I wonder about his strength and personality. Would I lose in a fight against a god like I would against the dragon gods? From what I have been told, the dragon's gods are much stronger, but hearing that doesn't tell me real numbers and power. Once it was the day of the meeting, the three of us didn't really do much until it was evening time, dressed in our outfits we made to the meeting hall. To be honest, I care absolutely zero about allying with Asgard, since until these factions that have citizens they are responsible for, we are a three-person team. They have to work in the best interest for the people they are responsible. I plan to fight to get stronger and learn more. I also plan to fight to protect my friends. To be honest, I do not really care about the greater Devil Society or Asgardian people. When we entered the room, I saw all the devils I recognized from school. I guess they are considered very high class in this society, so that isn't such a surprise. I also noticed a crater in the wall. I guess there was a small fight earlier? There were a lot of other devils I did not know in the room. A good amount of them did not seem to serve much purpose. Veldora instantly went to go get drinks and food. He is rather simple to please. I would say that is a good quality though. I decided to go to where the Devil Kings were standing with Azazel. They were talking about something that seemed relatively insignificant. Luminous followed slightly behind me. I could tell she was analyzing everything carefully though. When we arrived, Azazel was the first to notice me. Oh, hello Rimuru. It is good to see you and your maid are well. Odin and Michael should be arriving shortly. Why don't you talk with us in the meantime? I don't mind. To be honest, it would be pretty anticlimactic if I showed up for like 5 minutes and everything was done. Then it would just be a party with a bunch of people I don't particularly know or like. Sirzek started the conversation. It seems like Veldora is enjoying the food and drink. Is this not really his thing? Veldora is an intelligent individual. He is just not interested in this kind of thing. If you ask him about anime or manga, he will go into an in-depth analysis about character motivations and power scaling though. They chuckled in reply, probably thinking if Veldora would turn into a liability if stuff goes wrong. Soon later another person arrived. It was Michael. Hello Mr. Rimuru. Hello Ms. Valentine. It has been a while. All of us looked at Luminous, who had been acting stoic until now. Hello Mr. Head Angel. Are you in molting season? Some were surprised by her sass, but Michael seemed to expect it. I guess he does somewhat know her. It is a shame that you are not taking more jobs from heaven. It is good to have your power in this alliance though. I hope we can be strong allies. After all, none of us know how strong any of you three really are. The others look at us seriously. No duh. Only an idiot would show off their full power and let someone live to remember it. Luminous stayed cheeky a little longer. Who knows, maybe one day you will see us in action. Of course, since we suspect this meeting will be interrupted in some way, it is possible they will see a large amount of our power here. Out of the corner of my eye I saw Kaneko and Issei leave the room in a hurry. Rias quickly followed. That could mean something, but it could also just be some kind of personal issues they have. Even if there is some kind of energy nearby that could be considered suspicious, I won't be baited into some kind of premature action. Realistically, what happens in the forest outside doesn't matter to me. They can attack trees or throw a rave for all I care. That will not affect me at all. Since the real target for any action is this room, this is where I will be. No doubt Luminous thinks the same. Veldora probably doesn't notice or doesn't care. I remember asking Veldora why he was wearing a trench coat to this meeting, and you know what he said? So I can take it off in a battle to look cool. Yeah. This guy doesn't care about a cat stuck in a tree outside. Once Odin arrived, the other greeted him respectfully. I hope that isn't expected of me. I just stayed quiet and he spoke to me. Ah, you must be Rimuru the other have told me about. I can tell you are someone who is strong. You also have a great choice in maid. Wink, she seems strong as well. Since we will be allies soon, I think we should be friendly. Since he seemed like a normal dude, who was also perverted judging by the way she winked at Luminous. Not that I care too much. If he does anything he shouldn't, she is perfectly capable of defending herself. Hello Odin, it is nice to meet you. I hope our partnership is successful. I hope we can sign this monument to signify our peace and get to work. To be honest, this kind of diplomatic stuff is not really in my wheelhouse. Talking for a while when you aren't actually talking about something anyone cares about is tiring. As Odin went to sign the monument, I felt a large surge of magical energy. Finally some actions. Everyone's attention was brought to the bright magic circle that appeared. Out of it came a strange-looking guy. Looking at him I know he is strong, but I have no clue who he is. Thankfully for me, he introduced himself. Hello. I am the Norse god Loki. With that cleared up, I know I am now looking at another god. To be honest, the main thing on my mind is if I will get the chance to eat him. I wonder if I will evolve from eating him? To be honest, I wouldn't expect to evolve eating him. Since I am pretty sure I am stronger than him, it wouldn't make much sense if I did. After some back and forth, Loki summoned a large wolf. Apparently that is his son Fenrir. He is also pretty strong but still weaker than Loki himself. While the hall we were in started going into chaos, Veldora finally stopped eat and casually walked up in front of the main group while finishing his plate. Wahaha, it seems like this dog is causing a disturbance here. I guess I will have to tame this wild beast. People that don't know who Veldora is, which included Loki, just looked at him like he was brain dead. The people who did know him calmed down. After all, he is the most powerful person in the room, and by a pretty large margin. As Fenrir charged Veldora, he punched it straight in the face, staggering it. Then he did a spinning back kick, catching it in the jaw, which caused the dog he was fighting to release a brutal cracking sound as it fell backwards. The person who seemed most shocked was Loki. He just looked at Veldora with his mouth wide open before speaking. Who the hell are you? I wasn't told anyone like you would be here. What kind of god are you? Veldora, who was happy to be prompted, spoke in his usual introduction. Wahaha, who am I? I am the storm dragon Veldora Tempest, and all those who oppose me will be annihilated. Come at me, you self-proclaimed god. I will show you my true power. I couldn't help but sweat drop at his antics. I saw Luminous do the same. I genuinely wonder if he is trying to put on a show or if he actually believes he is an anime protagonist. I know his goal is to look cool while fighting, but he is surprisingly really good at it. A bunch of the other devils that were still in the room were cheering for him. Veldora-sama. Kya, how cool. He is so handsome. He is a dragon too. Have my children, daddy. On the last one I saw Veldora visibly flinch and take a step away from the group of people. I really don't blame him, but that is the price you have to pay for this kind of popularity. As the next phase of the fight was about to start, a green magic circle appeared under Loki and Fenrir. A second later they were both gone. I am not sure exactly what happened, but Raphael explained. Less than, it would appear they were teleported outside of civilization to an empty area and are currently restrained. Loki will be able to break free in a relatively short time though. This seems to be intended as a way to buy time to regroup before the main fight. Greater than. Thank you, Raphael. I promise I am working on a name for you. After that was explained again by the others, we took a short break before we would discuss what our plan will be. Since we were alone, I had a chat with Luminous. This is more interesting than I though. Do you want to fight? If you fight, then I will fight. I am interested in how powerful you are, and I also like a good fight. Well, since I am fighting, I guess you will be too. I hope killing Loki won't annoy the others too much, that would be annoying. Era, you seem pretty certain you can kill a god. From my experience, people in the world are much sturdier than they have a right to be. They have a habit of getting their ass kicked and running away. Good luck with actually killing him. From my limited fights I can attest to that. People in this world do not like to die, like Valley when Veldora hit him straight on, or Kokabiel who barely died. Loki will be much stronger than any of my previous opponents. I think there is no chance I can lose to him, but I also don't know if I can finish the fight quickly. It is also possible he will escape. I took out my sword that has been with me all this time. It was just a basic magic steel katana I had made before my Orc Lord fight that evolved into demon steel over time. Are you strong enough to kill a god? The end.